This is the beginning. It starts right.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome on stage the CIO of Boom Supersonic, Charles Valentine.
Good morning, Scott.
Good morning, Charles. You are looking dapper up there. I am feeling very underdressed right now. You are looking magnificent.
Thank you.
More importantly, your business is magnificent. Can you tell the audience a little bit more about who Boom Supersonic is and how SAP has been a partner of yours? Please take the stage.
Thank you. Good morning. Hi, I'm Charles Valentine, Boom Supersonic CIO, and I'm here to talk to you about speed and the value of your time. Quick show of hands. Who's heard of Boom Supersonic? Awesome. And all of you just heard of us, so everybody's hands should be up. For those of you who haven't heard of Boom, you will. We have big ambitions, and our mission is to make the world dramatically more accessible. We were founded in Denver in 2014 and are designing Overture, the world's fastest airliner. Overture will carry 65 to 80 passengers at Mach 1.7 over water, or about twice the speed of today's fastest commercial aircraft. By show of hands, how many people would like to get from New York to London in 3 hours? I know I would. When we fly twice as fast, cities rarely visited become major travel destinations. We can attend meetings in far-off places and return for evenings home with loved ones. I came to Boom a little over a year ago, joining as the CIO. We have about 200 employees. And when I came on board, we started talking about SAP. I initially pushed back. I thought, hey, it's way too early for these conversations because those of us in the room who have a lot of experience with ERP, the feeling is SAP is for the big guys, for the big projects, mountains of data, and I just didn't feel like we were there yet. But one of the main stakeholders looked at me, and I'll never forget it. He said, we're going to have to be good at SAP. That was actually our controller, so he's pretty critical in terms of stakeholder engagement, and ultimately that's proven to be right. There's a whole language to learn about how to operate an organization of our kind. You have to put many modules of an ERP in place, including an MES or manufacturing execution system to build jets. And we're just breaking ground on our final assembly line, or FAL, in Greensboro, North Carolina, where we will build those jets. When we get to that point of production, we won't be able to afford to make mistakes, and we definitely won't be able to undertake a big implementation or migration project. So we had to get good at running projects now in a low-risk way. So it's a story of true scalability and knowing we would need to depend on SAP in 5, 10, or 15 years from now. So we looked at RISE with SAP, which I hadn't been familiar with previously. What appealed to us is that we could get our feet wet with it. As we grew, we could grow the license count accordingly. We really didn't want to or need a full implementation to get live and get going. Instead, we were willing to change our internal processes to map to the industry standard. And when we needed those packages, RISE had them. At a high level, we followed these tenets. And I should note that these worked for us, but don't always apply universally. But I credit them a lot with our success. The first was no integrations unless absolutely necessary. We wanted to use systems out of the box as much as possible. Integration is difficult and costly. The products are built on common practices informed by the industry and have significant investment, and we really respected that. We didn't want to customize unless it gave us a competitive advantage to do so. Then we were clear, we got to make decisions quickly and do not expand project scope beyond core project goals. This applied to data. Data's messy, data cleansing's difficult, so we couldn't let that slow us down. We started the migration early in anticipation of the data we will be creating, and we really embraced automation to support our growth. We're focused on our mission to make the world dramatically more accessible, and every second we spend not 100% focused on that goal is a second wasted. We need to rely on technology to take us on as much of the busy work as possible. So we're limiting reliance on manual processes to consolidate data, limit redundant data processing, increase data validation, and help to increase user adoption. Next, we decided to implement in phases in order to limit initial budget expenditure and provide a foundational transformational platform for growth. The requirements were approached with a consideration for their impact on the budget in order to determine their priority and scope in the ERP platform. To that end, we minimized phase scope and budget to manage risk to the business while providing optimal outcomes and priority within quarterly deployment schedules. And finally, we enabled operational efficiency to implement change within our organization. We put an emphasis on adoption of new processes, process improvement, and efficiency as the priorities of our implementation. So with all that in mind, we implemented S/4HANA and went live in April of 2022 in just 90 days. We had a supersonic implementation, if you'll excuse the pun. And we just hit our 1-year anniversary of our go-live date. I'm still amazed at the speed and efficiency of getting here, but we managed it carefully, following all the tenets I outlined, and we did that with the help of SAP and our solutions integrator. I meet with my business peers regularly, and some of them have real battle scars. They've had business units that didn't want to change and knew the failure modes of ERP implementations and brought that wisdom to our project. And what we really found is there's a better way with SAP, even for those of us who are just getting started. I look forward to coming back on this stage in a few years and celebrating our successful MES implementation. Thank you and have a wonderful morning.